Welcome to the world of Marissa Marchand channel. A weekly serialized story full of heartfelt moments and relatable characters that will capture audiences' attention. Coming to America, The Journey, Part 11. A young bride's story. Married life wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Living at Ben's house was much better because I did not have to do chores. It meant no more responsibilities to my parents, no more arguments, and no more worrying about getting caught sneaking out. I was free to do what I wanted whenever I wanted. All I did was go to school, do my homework, and watch my favorite shows. My freedom to explore my interests without household duties felt liberating. Yeah, that was kid talk. I was too immature. Despite living a childish lifestyle, I did not face consequences for my actions. Junior and I quickly settled into a comfortable routine. Ben's support made our transition into life feel welcoming and secure. I was fine with the setup, but Junior didn't like freeloading. He looked for work and immediately got a job at a Lau Lau factory. Junior took his husband role to heart. He worked hard to care for me. He started early in the morning until he found a better job at auto recycling on Sand Island. Every time Junior received his pay, he stopped at Tamashiro Market to buy fish on his way home. Aurora appreciated his thoughtfulness and looked forward to Junior's next payday. Our lives couldn't be more perfect. We had everything we needed. One night, Ben had a visitor. It was his friend from the Navy. He said his girlfriend and infant son had just arrived from the Philippines. They were looking for a place to stay temporarily until they found a permanent home. Ben, always generous, offered them a room in his house, which they gratefully accepted. I wasn't clear what Ben was thinking when he allowed the family to move in with us. With so many people living under one roof, the house felt crowded. We fit in, but it was a tight squeeze. The once peaceful time after school watching TV became chaotic. Privacy was scarce, and finding a quiet corner to relax was nearly impossible. Everyone had to make compromises and sacrifices to make it work. As the days passed by, the lack of space and privacy wore on everyone's nerves and tension soon built. Ben and Aurora clashed over this, resulting in minor disagreements. Junior and I tried to stay out of their arguments, hoping they would resolve themselves. Like me, Nita thought having too many people in the house strained Aurora and Ben's once peaceful relationship. I helped with chores, and Nita cooked our meals to ease Aurora's burden. One day, Nita informed me they were moving out. Splitting up would be better for all of us, she said. I felt a pang of sadness at the thought of them leaving, as we had all become like an extended family. The house would feel empty without them, and the routine we'd grown accustomed to would change again. After finding a room to rent, we helped Nita and her husband move to Makaha, a 40-minute drive away. It was a large and spacious house with 4 bedrooms. The rent was affordable at $100 per month, provided Nita took care of the house while the owner was out of the country. Nita told us the landlady and her children were heading to the Philippines for an extended vacation while her husband, a military member, was overseas. There was another room available for rent, so she asked if we were interested. Seeing as my brother and his wife needed time to sort things out on their own, I knew Junior and I needed to give them some space. After discussing it with Junior, he agreed to rent the room. The only concern I had was that it was too far. The commute would be long, and we'd likely spend a lot of time traveling back and forth each day. We weighed the pros and cons, knowing that the added distance might be worth the peace it could bring to everyone's lives. Junior didn't seem to have an issue driving, so we spoke with the landlady, and she approved the rent. When we told Ben and Aurora we were moving with Nita and her family to their new home, they did not stop us. Yet I saw Ven's sadness and disappointment in his eyes. I could tell he didn't want me to leave. Nita made the move sound like an exciting adventure, and her words softened my resistance, though sadness lingered. I told my brother he had to work on resolving their family issues. This could only be done if they got peace back in their house with no one around. Ven understood and agreed. We said our goodbyes and promised to stay in touch. It would be a difficult journey for all of us, but I hoped we would find peace and happiness in the end. When we moved into the Makaha house, the landlady and her children had already left for the Philippines. Looking around the house, that day was one of the saddest in my life. Since I was a child, I have lived with my family. My first thought was, what was I getting myself into? My only option was to rely on myself and hope Junior would fill in whatever I needed emotionally and financially. The transition was bittersweet, as I had to leave behind my family's familiar comforts and dynamics. While it was a risky move, I was prepared to leap. Junior and I were determined to make it work. I knew it would be a challenge, but I was up for the task. However, it was easier said than done. I found Nita busy in the kitchen cooking dinner. The aroma of chicken adobo filled the air, and a savory blend of soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, and bay leaves wafted through the house. It mingled with fried rice scent. A comforting combination of garlic, onions, and soy sauce sizzled in the pan. The smell was comforting and reminded me of home, offering a small sense of familiarity amidst all the changes. My mouth watered as Nita placed the food on the table. The timing was just right since I was hungry after moving. When Nita told me I could use the kitchen since she had finished using it, I frowned. What was she talking about? After hearing Nita's kitchen schedule, I realized we weren't welcome for dinner. We had to prepare our own meals. What in the world? As Nita had always cooked for us at Ven's house, I expected nothing had changed. And then it finally hit home. I was a young wife and had responsibilities. Besides studying, washing the dishes, and watching my favorite TV programs, there's not much to say. I realized I knew nothing about managing a household on my own. Cooking meals, budgeting for expenses, and maintaining a home were all new challenges I had to face. I never cooked in my life. I didn't know what to do. Nita knew that. How could she expect me to make our meal? I did not sign up for this. I would never have left Ven's house if I knew. I stood in front of the empty stove, feeling overwhelmed. The pots and pans seemed foreign, and the thought of preparing a proper meal was daunting. I opened the fridge, but none belonged to us. Junior and I hadn't bought groceries yet. I watched Nita and her husband chat while enjoying a delicious meal. I felt frustrated as they ignored us. I don't know whether Nita meant to teach me a lesson or was only friendly to me when we lived with Ven. It would have been nice if she had told me about the setup before moving in. That night, I tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. The reality of our living situation weighed heavily on my mind, and the uncertainty of the days ahead filled me with anxiety. My harsh behavior in moving out of Ven's house was a mistake. The tension between Ven and Aurora had pushed me to make a hasty decision, but soon they reconciled their differences, letting me realize I had acted impulsively. Junior and I should have waited until after I graduated. Moving in with Nita without considering the dynamics of our living arrangement was a mistake that left us unprepared and awkwardly navigating new challenges. As I lay in bed, I couldn't help but feel a pang of regret for leaving Ven's house. The warmth and ease of our previous home seemed like a distant memory, and I longed for the simple comforts I had taken for granted. If only I had thought through my decision, we wouldn't be in this unsettling predicament now. Regrets were the last thing I expected. Tune in next week to see how this exciting story continues from Marissa Marchand channel. Please check out my channel trailer video to learn more about the exciting content you can expect from my channel. Your support means the world to me. I write young adult, new adult, and middle grade fiction. For more information about my work, visit marissamarchand.com. Don't forget to watch my other videos. Thank you.